Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this very amazing webinar for women in Web3. The aim of this is actually to get more women to be aware of the technology, as technologies involved in Web3, what role they can play, what benefits are there, the opportunities there, and how they can get in. And today we're very excited to have Godwin France with us. Godwin France is the Africa Community Manager for Merit Circle, and is here today to tell us what we need to know. Is here today to answer whatever questions we have regarding Web3. And my name is Aghama Jesurobo. I'm the founder of MumsWhoCode, and this is a platform working towards the inclusion of more women in tech, especially focusing on moms, women with maternal responsibilities, with the aim of helping them get into tech, grow in tech, and aspire towards tech leadership. So without much ado, I would like to invite our guest for this event, Godwin France. You have the mic.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good day, good evening. I don't know, I think more of our audience are from Nigeria, yeah, as we hope that more people join. It's a privilege being part of this session, and I hope we have fun. My name is Godwin France, as Aghama said, and I'm based in Ghana, Accra, mostly work from here and work across Africa. I work for Merit Circle, a decentralized autonomous organization, a very big name, one of the offshoot of modern work that's come up. I mean, basically our company, or a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO, is a company that runs on contracts. That's, if you want to be part of it, like we've programmed everything and it's run on governance and contract and voting. So, but we are mostly focused on the gaming space. So blockchain gaming is our core area, although we have other options coming up in the blockchain generally and the crypto space. We also have a token. We have a crypto token called Merit Circle, of course, obviously, and it's listed on a number of exchanges. And so yeah, that's what we do basically. I hope it's going to be a short session. I'm trying to make it fun. So what I was thinking of doing was I reversed my presentation a little bit so that it doesn't become autonomous or boring. I think I had a session 2 days ago, and I want to take a different approach this time around. I'm very active on Twitter, and I noticed that a lot of people have been asking questions on NFTs, on non-fungible tokens. I was sharing my screen recently, a few minutes ago. I don't know if most of you saw the video I was sharing, but there's been a buzz. NFT has been a buzz for like a year, although it's been around for some time. But due to the record number of sales that have happened in the past few months, especially last year, so a lot of buzz have been around it. So I thought that I should approach this presentation from that perspective. So we take everything. We start off with the NFTs and we go, I believe MumsWhoCode has to do more with coding. I was trying to find out the background of people that will be in attendance. And I don't know, I have more programming people, coding people, people in tech generally. So I just want to give you a brief overview of what's happening in the crypto and blockchain space. So you can have a better idea and know if you want to pivot or how you could incorporate cryptocurrency and blockchain into whatever you're doing. You do not necessarily have to stop whatever you're doing, whether you're a machine learning person, artificial intelligence person, a web developer, front end, back end, cloud engineer. You don't necessarily have to pivot, but you could see how best you could incorporate crypto and blockchain into whatever you're doing. So let's go. I have a slide presentation here. A very short one. As I said, I want to make this as brief as possible and more interactive than me talking a lot. Please kindly indicate if you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yes, it's up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, my background is telecom engineering. I'm mostly in the STEM. I'm mostly in the education bit of things. Okay, so I'm seeing a chat. Okay, yes, I can. All right. I've changed to the next slide. The last time some people were telling me they could not see if I've changed my slide, but I'm on the next slide now. I hope it's changed as well. Okay, so my background is telecom engineering, STEM education, and I've been having a lot in
Sorry,
the
it
web
hasn't
space.
it hasn't changed.
Wow. So this, I'm having the same challenge again.
Maybe you should use the other view, the print view.
What view?
The print view at the bottom of your screen.
Yes, I've maximized it. I've maximized my screen. I don't know why it was doing that. It's doing it again.
Okay, so it's fine. No, the one before that one. The one before
Okay,
the
the one
slide.
before that one.
Yes.
Reading view.
Yes, you can try that. Okay.
Is it changing?
So, yes, it's changing.
Okay, good. All right, my bad. I've learned something. Thank you, Aghama.
You're welcome.
All right. So first slide, non-fungible tokens. NFTs, basically a buzzword and a very interesting space, very, very interesting space. So yeah, a bit about me. I'm active on Twitter, Godwin France. I run a lot, not a lot. I've not run in a while this year. Basically, I've become very lazy. And that's my phone number in case you want to reach out to me. Yeah, I advocate for the blockchain technology. So let me play this video one more time. Is the video visible? Is it playing?
Not yet.
Is it playing now? It's been playing for a while, so I just want to know if it's playing.
Yes, it's playing now. We can see.
Okay.
It. Oh, I can see it.
I don't know if anyone's seen this content in the last week. Has anyone seen this content in the last week? In the last 1 week?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Okay,
we saw
good.
it.
I actually watched it this morning and I couldn't help the tears. It was just so amazing.
Oh, that's touching. All right, so let's get back to our slides. So that's the drama's joy. It's the drama is called Baba Onilu, and so this is the beauty of NFTs. So why I'm bringing this up is that, sorry. Why I'm bringing this up is to shed more light on NFTs. So this was a story that happened in Nigeria of a copper who took a picture of the drummer, an artist, and printed it or whatever, then brought it back to him. And the proceeds from what he had, he gave, I think he said 50%. I was following the story on Twitter, was giving us updates on the whole storyline. So this is a bit about NFT. In previous time, in time past, or some people are not really aware that content creators or digital artists have been empowered through NFT. So this is the beauty. This is where the magic is happening. That the blockchain technology has allowed unique creations. So the word fungible or non-fungible means unique. So the non-fungible in the word NFT just means it's unique. It's not replicated. You don't have duplicate of it. Non-fungible means unique tokens. So if you print something or if you mint, the right word is mint, that is to have your content on the blockchain, on the ledger, and you call it an NFT. We are hoping that that's a unique one, that you don't have any other copy anywhere. So this story is a very interesting one because more Nigerians are coming to see this. So on Twitter, I get this a lot on Twitter. They'll be like, oh, tell us more about NFT. So when people see the value of it, like when people see the monetary aspect about things, they are much more interested in it and say, okay, how can we participate in this space? How can I and be part of it? So this particular content was sold for 1.1 ETH. That is 1.1 ETH. And currently an ETH is worth, I think I opened it somewhere here, $3,000. That's dropped. It actually dropped a lot. One ETH is currently worth, $3,000, $3,080 thereabouts. So imagine just that picture, the picture of the guy, the content creator, the guy who created the content, sold that picture for approximately $3,000. And you can imagine how much that is. So you can imagine if you have your content being sold as an NFT, the potential or how much you can actually make. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I believe we'll touch on that briefly as we go along. So this is a story that happened in Nigeria, the drama joy. It's actually listed on, this way it was listed. So on OpenSea, he sold it on OpenSea, and there are still more listings there. These ones are going for 0.2, 0.1. What's 0.2 ETH? Let's quickly check. I have the calculator here.
Okay, are you showing us your screen because we can't see?
My screen constantly is not showing.
What we can see here is a picture, I think, from the previous video you shared, not what you're talking about now.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why my screen share is misbehaving. All right. So this is what I was showing. I was showing the price of 1 ETH or 0.2 ETH instead. So I don't know if you can see my browser right now. Yeah, so this is what I was showing initially. OpenSea. OpenSea is a platform where you can list, buy, and sell NFTs. So this is the, can you see the old man's picture? Can you see the old man's picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's listed. If you can see, the first picture is listed as 0.2 ETH. That's Ethereum. That's the Ether, Ethereum, the value, the unit value for Ethereum. So this is 0.2. If we check the cost for that picture right now, it means that at the current market value, at the current selling price, that picture is going for $616 and some few cents there. So the next one is 0.1. So he has them listed up here. But that particular one, he sold it for 1.1 ETH. So that's approximately, as at the value as of today would be $3,388. That's how much he sold the ads that you guys saw and you fell in love with it. So this is the magic of NFT, and let's look at more examples. So right now I'm constantly stopping my screen and coming back. So right now I'm back to the slide. So the next slide I'm showing right now was by an artist, I think in the US, and it was sold for $69 million. It's basically a collage, a compilation of many pictures put into one frame. And this was sold for $69 million last year. As at the time of its sales, it was the most expensive NFT on record that's been sold. But I think many NFTs have since then gone to break this record. So there's also something very tricky here. Some people also say it's money laundering. Of course, it can be true. People use some of these schemes for money laundering. But here we've seen a clear example of someone in Nigeria, a youth copper who has actually used it to benefit himself and an old man on the street or an artist. So these are some of the use cases of NFTs, and some numbers. We are crunching numbers here and see how high it can go. It doesn't necessarily have to be this outrageous. Last week, I was looking at the Binance NFT marketplace, and I saw a number of NFTs being listed for $15, some for $10, and so on and so forth. So it all depends on the value you place on it and the demand and supply. All right. So now let's backtrack a little. let's hold on with these NFT things and see how far we've come in this trading market. So back in the 80s, there's what we call the baseball cards. So what we're looking at right now, I hope my screen has changed. It's a black guy, a black baseball player holding his bat. Ken Griffey.
Yes, we can see.
Good. So back in the 80s, we are going back a little, we're doing a little bit of history here right now. So where have we come from that we've gotten to this particular place right now that people can sell items digitally? So back in the 80s, cards that were printed in limited copies of sports or athletes or sports stars in the 60s and 70s became, their value increased. So imagine in the 60s, you were able to buy maybe one of your favorite athletes. You were able to buy his card, his printed card. I mean, back then, computers were not as they are right now. There was no internet, obviously. The internet started somewhere in the 70s. So the digital world was not as it is right now. So most of the cards were sold for like $1. But after 20 years, after people have kept the cards, and in the 80s, those cards that were rare in the 60s of sports stars now has so much value. So we're now delving into the collector's world where artists and collectors meet. So I'm drawing this analogy so that you can understand where we are coming from in terms of trading. Maybe most of us in our part of the world, in Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, we're not used to such things, even paying for games. Even I don't know which person amongst us here has actually paid for, bought an in-game token with their own money. We usually avoid such things. But in the West, where disposable income is readily available in a certain sense, they can play around with such things. So baseball cards became valuable, or sport cards. But I'm delving a little much narrower into the baseball card because that's where most of the value came from. So baseball cards became things that people could trade. They were printed in limited copies. Also, please note, when you limit the copies that you print or you limit the copies of the NFT, it creates scarcity, and scarcity drives the price of a commodity up. So when, as time move on, most of these cards right now are worth around nothing less than $500,000. These cards that were from the 80s. So this is a brief history of trading cards where young people buy cards of their celebrities or sports stars, and they just keep it for fun. But right now, because of advanced technology, we can have these cards as a digital copy. So you can see there's a running joke in the NFT space that says, right click and save. Why should I buy an NFT when I could right click and save? I mean, I just played a video. Someone has bought the video I just played earlier for $3,000. Meanwhile, I also have the same copy. So what is the use? So it's something that is really helping the digital content creators, and not the digital content creators, but those in real life who also create content can also have a digital copy of whatever they've created. So for the first time in the history of humanity, digital artists or digital content can be monetized directly, and the content creators can actually have value or extract value for their work. So this is how we should look at NFTs. NFTs are a store of value that the content creators themselves can benefit directly from them. And if there's a community, those community as well can trade between themselves and transfer value from one person to the other. So it might say you can right click and save it, which is true. But then again, if you invest into someone's work, you know that you believe in the person, or you believe in the value, or you can be a secondary person that can earn value from whatever the person is offering. So let's define NFTs a little. NFTs put power and economic control back into the hands of the digital creators. Now, I was talking to some graphic designers, and they were impressed. They were like, oh, they didn't know that their graphic design could earn them money directly. And I'm like, yeah, that's the power of NFT. So I believe most people in this space, or not space, in this Zoom session, are from a tech background. So I'm trying to drive a point from the use case of the blockchain technology back into the tech space. So a non-fungible token, often referred to as an NFT, it's a digital asset that represent real-world objects such as art, music, and videos on the blockchain. Simply put, a blockchain is just a ledger that records transactions that takes place. So every transaction becomes immutable. You cannot change anything. Every transaction that happens is being recorded and added to the chain. So if there's a previous record and you want to modify anything, it will not modify the old record, but to create a new record and have a change of record, so you can have a track record and of what has happened. So some people say it's very secure. I mean, it's true, but I mean, about 2 weeks ago, the space I'm into the blockchain gaming space. The $620 million $620 million worth of crypto was moved or stolen from Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity is a blockchain gaming platform. Their money was stolen. I mean, people always say that this thing, unfortunately, they made mistakes. My funds also have been stolen. My wallet, all my crypto wallets, 3 of them were compromised, and all the money in my wallets were all moved, were wiped clean. So these things happen, and it happens a lot because people are not security conscious of in the crypto space yet. So now that drives it to an interesting point. We need more cyber security. Generally, cyber security are needed as more and more digital assets. As you can see the definition, it's a digital asset that represents real-world objects. So this is the beginning. We are very early, but more and more things are happening online. So if you are thinking of pivoting or thinking of a space in the tech space as a woman who codes or a lady who codes or a mom who codes, one of the areas I'll really tell you that is readily a hot cake area is the area of cybersecurity. So even even if you could narrow it down into the blockchain space, we are needed. There are always bounty hunts right now. Even the Axie Infinity guys, they've done a white hat offer that if you can come on their system, you can hack their system and find loopholes in their system, they have a bounty for you. So people do this a lot. You can become a white hat or a black hat, or I don't think you want to become a black hat hacker. I mean, that means basically becoming a criminal, but you want to fight crime. So you help find loopholes in people's systems. So if you're considering a space in tech, you could consider cybersecurity. It's a very good space. And if you could narrow down your knowledge in the blockchain space as well, you can become an authority at least in the next 3-5 years. And you'll be on your way to earning so much dollar. Yeah, so that's that about NFT being defined. So who can create an NFT? So who can create, I've been talking about NFT. So we saw an artist. So that guy is a photographer. The guy Ade, I've forgotten his name, Ade Bisa or something. He's a photographer. He goes around taking pictures of people. So you can see at the bottom of the list, I said anybody. So he goes around, take pictures and mints them. So minting basically means putting your work on the blockchain. So and it's not free. Most time you have to pay a gas fee. A gas fee is what the miners use. So the servers or the computers that mine or operate the blockchain, they need a fee to run. So when you mint, so the process of that happening is called minting. So there are a lot of, I don't want to go too deep, there's proof of stake, proof of work, the number of approach that are being used, but whoever solved, they're all mathematical problems, but whoever solves the problem first. Cryptocurrency basically means cryptography. So you're encrypting the artwork onto a blockchain. So, okay, sorry, I sent a message on the chat. All right, okay, that's not for me. So who can create an NFT? Digital content creators. I've always wanted to create an NFT, but my boss said I should not. I have a particular video, but I said, don't worry. So he paid me directly. My boss paid me directly for what I wanted to mint. They gave me about some thousands of dollars for the work that I did. So he said I shouldn't mint it, like I should just keep doing whatever I'm doing. So artists, visual artists can also create NFT. Roadside artists who paint actually, who are not even digital artists. So there are 2 ways you can do this. You can have the physical copy and create a digital copy, maybe by snapping it, scanning it or whatever, put the digital copy on the blockchain, then sell it. What some people do is that when they sell the digital copy to you or for you or whatever, they offer you the hard copy as well. They can ship it to you. What other people do is that they say, okay, since it should be an immutable something, I'm going to destroy the physical copy so that we know that we have only one copy. So immutable, that means that we don't have replicates. Non-fungible means we don't have replicates. So we can't have, some people say that, okay, I don't want to have a digital copy and a hard copy. So when you bought my digital copy, I can either sell it to you or I'm going to destroy it. Some people are also like, destroying is wasteful. So why not send a copy? So video editors, so right now, video editor who can create animation, short clips, 2 seconds clip, whatever clip, 5 seconds, and sell their work on NFT marketplace directly to whoever values their work. Musicians, this is a very interesting space as well. Right now, if you're a musician, you earn very little if you're on a streaming platform. The musicians, they earn by royalties, they earn by going for shows, and they earn by streaming services, by putting your music on the streaming service, and they pay very little. So what some musicians have found out, like Snoop Dogg and some other guys are experimenting in this space. It's not really taken off yet, unlike the digital or the visual part of, or the art part of the NFT space. The music NFT or the audio NFT has not really taken off yet. So musicians can also put up their work for sale and give people and sell it directly to whoever values their work. As I mentioned, graphic designers, meme creators. So one of the most expensive NFT that was also sold was that of Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, that's Twitter creator, the guy who created Twitter, the founder of Twitter. So he also sold his first tweet. His first tweet was also sold. You can also consider that a meme. So meme creators can also sell their work as non-fungible tokens. And game developers, so in my space, I told you I'm in the blockchain development space. You can have game players have a track record of their digital footprints. So once again, don't forget that the background technology is a blockchain, and a blockchain is basically a ledger. So let's say, how do you prove that? How do you show your record of your gaming experience? You can show that on the blockchain. So you can store everything on the blockchain, but you can also have unique characters. You can also have unique characters in the game that are unique to you. So game developers can also take advantage of the blockchain space and sell the game characters. One of the most popular games that does this is called Axie Infinity, which I believe we might not have time to talk about, but maybe we can have a continuation session and look at it. So they sell their game characters, and one of them currently, the lowest one can cost about $20. But when the value of the crypto was very high, you could buy one for at least $150 and above. So it's also based on the market value of the token itself and the demand and supply of the token itself as well. There are a few other factors that determine the value of a crypto token or coin. So basically anybody. So recently, I think 2 days ago, I saw Floyd Mayweather trying to sell some NFTs, and the community was saying that this is not the first time he's doing that, but he wants to steal people money. So what people do is that in crypto, when you buy crypto with your money, with your Naira, with your dollar, you are exchanging your fiat, your Naira or dollar for a digital token. So what happens is that you are swapping your money, your hard-earned money, whether it be dollar, for a coin or a token that is just a digital asset. So the person, when that swap happens, it means that the person who has collected as you done the swap with, the person has custody of the real money that has a real US dollar, while you are holding on to a digital currency that the value is not really regulated by any government. And so what we call rug pull means that it can go away with your money and close the project. So some people are saying that Floyd Mayweather has run a number of rug pull projects, a project whereby there are no utilities. So now one of the this is just my own personal projection, is that one of the end use cases of NFTs is to end up being something like loyalty cards. So you see that you have these loyalty cards whereby when you have loyal customers, as they keep coming and buying, maybe they can accumulate value on the loyalty cards, or you can, maybe if you're a celebrity, so those of you can think through it, maybe like for a celebrity, maybe like, let's say you're in Nigeria who is the hottest celebrity right now? Davido. Davido launches an NFT. I don't know what the NFT can be. It could be pictures of him, it could be his music NFT, and he will be like, so we are finding utilities for NFT. He will be like, if you buy my NFT at this value, maybe $1,000 or whatever dollars, $3,000, what's going to happen is that if you're holding my NFT, whenever I have a show, you can have a discount, or you can have access to an exclusive zone, to the VIP zone, or maybe you can be part of the after party after the show. So these are some of the use cases that I see coming up for NFT, because currently they are just, I almost said worthless piece, but you place the value on them. They're just digital assets that you hold in your crypto wallets, and they can be anything. It can be meaningless. The value can go up, the value can come down. But how do you add more utility to what you are selling in the NFT space? So this is what people do, all right? So please have your questions ready. I'm almost done with this presentation. So let's go on. So now we're talking about NFTs. It looks far-fetched and all that. So where can you buy these NFTs? Where can you buy them? So Binance, one of the biggest in the world. Binance is a centralized exchange. So there are two types of exchanges, decentralized exchange and a centralized exchange. A decentralized exchange will not ask you for any identity. They don't care who you are. You can move your funds in and out. Nobody cares what you are doing. Nobody knows your identity, all right? But a centralized exchange like Binance, they will ask you to verify your account. Send us your ID card, take a picture of it, scan it or whatever. We want to know who you are in case the government come at us and say that we are doing money laundering or whatnot. We can tell them, no, this is a real person, and this is a person who can track the person down and prosecute the person. So you can sell and buy your NFTs on Binance. And the most popular one in the world is OpenSea. OpenSea is where the guy sold the Drummer's Joy NFT. So OpenSea is the most popular and has more transactions. And OpenSea runs on Ethereum. It runs on the Ethereum network. They're working on cross-chain networks. We'll get into that later on for the tech people. I'm just trying to talk a bit of non-tech space. We have Rarible, and we have some places where people can bid, or more people can put funds together and buy a particular NFT, which is a good concept as well. Then we have Top Shots, NBA Top Shots. This is where exclusive NBA videos are sold. So they have their own platform called NBA Top Shots. A player dunks, a player does a nice kill, that short seconds, people trade it. So you can buy. So if you're an end user, you can buy these NFTs, you can wait for the price to appreciate, you can place them back again on the market and sell it for a profit, or you can just hold it for whatever. If you look at the invite poster that we did, you could see Aghama's picture. Then my picture is also my NFT. That's a Merit Circle Eden Horde. So Merit Circle has a project called Eden Horde where we tell stories and building up a story. And that's my own NFT. I think it's worth about almost $1,000 currently, but I'm not selling it. I'm just keeping it. I don't know. I don't have any. It's supposed to generate passive income for me. So that, so this is another use case. Whatever Merit Circle does, for those people who are holding Merit Circle NFT, when we generate income from the games that we've invested in, when profit comes in, those who are holding our NFTs also get to share in that profit generated. So these are some of the use cases. So the reason why I'm still holding on to my NFTs is because I can generate passive income through the NFT I'm holding on Merit Circle. So these are some of the use cases. As you try to design your own project, you should look for how to make it sellable. So one thing I've also noticed in the NFT space, like some of you said you were passionate about the story of the old man drama, is that you have to build a community and you have to tell a story. Nobody will just come and buy your work because it's nice. Who are you? What's your track record? Would there be utility? Would there be use cases of these NFTs? That's why it will be a little bit much easier for celebrities to sell. But the community too is also averse to celebrities. They are trying not to make celebrities eat up the space because that's the whole essence of Web3. Web3 is built on the concept of decentralization, taking back the power in which you've expressed in Web2, whereby big organizations, big corporations hold our data and they sell our data to make profit off our own information. So the whole concept of decentralization is to make sure that we own our own digital identity, our own digital track record, and no one is making. So if you're on Facebook, you are the product on Facebook. Facebook makes money off you once people post ads and you view the ads. That's how they generate money. So right now, that's the whole concept of Web3. I don't know. So let me wrap up. So when you're thinking about starting a project in the NFT space, think about telling a story that people can relate with. Then that's how you can, and also building a community and looking for people who will be interested in whatever you do in your craft. All right. So finally, where to store your NFT, or where do you store your NFT? So your NFT will be stored in a wallet or a custodial wallet. So as I mentioned in the last slide, I showed you where you can buy and sell NFTs. But when you have a digital asset, where can you save them? Where do you hold them? For instance, my NFT is being held on MetaMask. So the third one, this fox, this orange-looking fox, that's the symbol for MetaMask. This is Ronin. Ronin is the Axie Infinity native wallet. So when you play the game and you earn a token, it will be sent to your Ronin wallet. So your NFT, your game, even your game characters, which are NFTs, are also stored on the game wallet. If you buy land, people sell land. If you buy land in the game, it's also stored on this Ronin wallet. If you buy any other token, Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of the coins out there, you can store them on MetaMask. And Binance also, you can store them on Binance and do transactions between these wallets once you know their address. So I'm going to stop here. I think this session is, I want to stop here. Maybe we can have another session where we can go in depth and look at the technology behind, look at it from the tech side. So I'm just giving a brief, and I believe there should be some questions right now. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Frank. This was an amazing session. Very interesting. I'm also really interested in NFT. So let's hear from the ladies. Do you have any questions? You can raise your hand, you can turn on your mic, and then ask any questions you have. This is meant to actually help break down the concepts you have been hearing, the technical jargons you have been hearing in the Web3 space. Go ahead and ask your questions, and then I would also ask mine when everyone is done.
The game is not so clear. My game character, I printed it out on the wall. So it's an NFT behind me, I can sell later on. But their game character, Axie Infinity, I decided to print it out, and it's my copy, so I can print it out and do whatever I want to do with it. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, Aghama.
Awesome.
Yeah, so questions, please.
Let's hear your questions. What are your thoughts?
Good afternoon. Should I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I mean, this is a very interesting concept, right? It sounds almost too good to be true somehow. Where all you just have to do is maybe take a picture or have a creative outlet, sort of, right? And then you just put it on the blockchain, and then you can mine plenty money, or you can get plenty money from it. It just sounds very good to be true. And I'm just wondering, like, for a regular person, right? Just for a regular person like me, right? I take my own pictures. So what you're saying is now is I can take pictures of myself and my family, and then wrap a story around it, put it on the blockchain, and then I'll just make money. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, actually,
I know
my
that
wife. I was there one day minding my business, and my wife sent me a screenshot that someone is selling his college pictures as NFTs. She also couldn't believe it. I was like, "What's going on here?" So yeah, crazy things are going on in the space. Yeah, people can just basically. It's all about the community. If anyone believes in whatever you're doing, or they just want to have fun, people they are collectors. They've always been art collectors. There always been people who collect things. Yeah, I'm also, when I make plenty money, I'll also be an art collector. I have a number of arts. There's an art here on the floor right now. There's one on my wall. I print them. I say nice something. I make it presentable. So if someone is interested in your niche, that's why I spoke about community. So it's about community, or about finding the right people who will be vested. And I've mentioned disposable income. most people in that part of the world, we're not used to the concept of disposable income, whereby you have money lying around that you can just spend anyhow you like. So unfortunately for the West, people in the West, it's easy for them to do such things, for them to gamble on those things. But yeah, yes, you can do that. My wife said I should start printing my own picture and mint it as NFT. I just found it as a joke and I didn't mind it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So Ibuko Adeyemi, you have a question? Please go ahead. Hi, Ibuko, are you there? I see your hand raised. Okay, so while we're waiting for Ibuko, I have a question. In fact, I have questions, but this is my first question. What's the process of minting an NFT like? Can you give us like a description of what the process is like?
Okay, yeah, thanks. I saw someone else also asking about minting in the chat. Patience, okay, Patience also asked about minting. So minting is just basically a fee you are paying to have your work on the blockchain. It's not really complicated. It's just a fee. A fee you are paying to have your work on the ledger, on the blockchain. So if you're on OpenSea, so it will be the Ethereum gas fee or the GUI. So you're being charged. So I have a picture on my desktop. I want to list that picture on OpenSea, OpenSea.com. It's a marketplace for NFTs. So for me to have that picture listed and recorded on the blockchain, I have to pay, we all pay something. I have to pay a fee. It's dependent on the traffic on the network. It's dependent on also how much you are willing to pay. You can set a maximum fee you are willing to pay. Some people say it's dangerous because if it fails, you can lose your money along the way. But yeah, you can set a cap. Like I'm not going to pay more than $20 worth of Ethereum for this thing. So, but you can also pay whatever they bill you as at the time you are trying to place your work or your creative on their marketplace. So minting basically is just going online or going to the platform, whatever platform, and generating your NFT. So there's a fee that you pay for the network, for using the network or having your work on the network. The network could be Ethereum, it could be Solana, and all the various networks out there, which are some are cheaper. Ethereum is the most expensive one, and the others are way cheaper than Ethereum. So you have to. So these are some of the things you weigh to determine where you want to mint your work. If you want to have it on the Ethereum network, you want to have it on Solana, and all those other things. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Okay, so you spoke about right click and save, right? Now, what actually happens to the other copies lying around? Not in digital format, for example, or even if in digital format, but not on the blockchain this time, because I could have an artwork that have gone around before I decide to make it an NFT, right? So at the point I sell it, what happens to the other copies? If anything, what are the implications of having other copies around? Anything legal?
Well, unfortunately, since you brought legality, that's the whole problem. That's the whole idea about blockchain or cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is trying to seek independence. Unfortunately, I didn't talk about cryptocurrency. Like when I talk about cryptocurrency, then I've spoken more about this. It's about seeking independence from governments. And governments also are not regulating it, not yet, or some are trying to catch up with regulation. So there are no legal implication because it's not a regulated space. Although some people are being arrested for stealing people's money, like the crime, theft I mentioned, and people who do rug pull. I've seen 2 cases already whereby the police have gotten involved and they actually traced 2 of the guys who created an NFT. Then when they sold it, they ran away with the money. They didn't proceed. They closed down the Discord server. They shut down the whole project. The people had to track them down. And they've been, this happened about a month ago or 3 weeks ago. and they're in police custody. They've taken them to court actually because they didn't fulfill their promise. So it's now, I don't know the digital law in Nigeria. What was there? I mean, did you fulfill a promise? You promised this and that. Did you fulfill it? I mean, in the US, it's much stronger. But I don't know about, so someone will have to test it. There will have to be a precedence for it to be tested. So about the right click and save, there's nothing you can do about it. People will always right click and save as long as it's on the computer. We can take screenshots, we can right click and save, we can do whatever we want to do. So it's just more about, the whole crypto space is just about community, people believing in your project. I can decide to wake up and start a coin tomorrow and launch my own token. But these people that believe in my token that will buy into it. So if I'm buying your NFT, because I believe in you, although I can right click and save it as well. Or maybe I might not believe in you, but I might believe in your community that if I'm holding on to this, I'll always get a buyer. I'll always get a buyer, whether someone, or we've seen situations whereby people take other people's work and take it to other platforms to generate them. So these are some of the crazy things that happen. But if you're somebody want to be in the game for a long term and you want to build a reputation for yourself, obviously you avoid such a thing and build a community. That's why they bought the BC. See some apes, some monkeys. I mean, they're the biggest community so far, and they're finding a lot of use cases. I think yesterday, Coinbase said they'll start producing a movie. They'll produce a movie, and everybody who submits their NFT, their monkey NFT for that movie, they will get, they'll be earning passive income, or they'll generate something for themselves because you submitted your NFT to be used in the movies, because they are all unique characters and to be produced in the animation. So you're going to earn something for yourself. So it's all about community. It's all about believing in the system. Yeah, it can always be saved. Anybody can save it.
Awesome, thank you. Patience just asked a question in the chat.
That means I need to have some crypto coin to be able to trade NFTs. Yes, please, you have to. Anything that is on the blockchain is run on crypto, like the fee you pay is crypto. It's not that difficult. All you have to do is just, if you want to buy crypto, you just go to you go to Binance, have a Binance account or whatever. You can attach your card, your bank card. I don't know if it's still possible in Nigeria because of the ban in Nigeria on crypto. But in Ghana, I've been buying USDT with my card, with my Visa card. I buy direct. I don't buy on the peer-to-peer anymore. Since I discovered I can buy direct, I'm like, what's the use? What's the use? Let me just buy it. That's why I swap my CDs directly for USDT and BNB. I bought these two coins in the past few weeks. So you need crypto. But if you don't want to use your card, you can always have a peer-to-peer. You can buy from somebody else. So you send money to the person. You can do that on Binance, or if you know the person directly. I know someone who does that directly for me. I send him my crypto and he sends the equivalent for me in CDs or Naira, depending on where I am. I was in Nigeria a month ago. I had to liquidate my crypto. He did it for me. So yeah, these are the options you have. But you need crypto to trade anything on NFT.
Okay, so there's another question here. And it says, what should be the starting point for someone interested in taking action right now? For someone actually interested in taking action on an NFT, what should be the starting point? Where should the person start from?
I'll say you should study the market. I mean, first of all, understand crypto basically. Understand crypto. Crypto is a basic. Understand how crypto works and what drives it. Binance has academy.binance. You can start from there. Go to academy.binance. There are a lot of resources there already. So you can learn about crypto, then you move on. So it's still just about, as I mentioned, it falls back again to community. Whatever you want to do. Like I said, I didn't mint that NFT. My boss, I don't know why my boss didn't mint it, but he gave me money for the project. But someone already in the committee was asking me to mint it, that he was going to buy it. So there was a demand for my work. There's a clear demand for my work, but my boss, because I'm working with a brand, they were like, I shouldn't do it, but they'll fund the project for me. So build community, learn about crypto, build a community. Who's interested in the Adiola asks about a family picture? You can say, well, me, I'm into sharing my family pictures. I mean, back in the 90s, we keep our family pictures in albums, but now people post their pictures everywhere. You can say, okay, I want to monetize my family, make a story, tell a story, like the Kim Kardashian's family. they're basically just telling stories about their family and they're cashing out from it. So you can also say that, okay, I want to be an influencer or whatever, I want to tell a story, mint it. You might find a community people who are interested in it and they support it. One other thing people do is that they tie charity to it. They'll be like, okay, if you buy my work, 20% of it is going for charity. So that's another way to also get people's attention or for a good cause, if I may say. So these are areas you can explore. So you just have to learn. You have to learn about crypto first of all, then have a community or look for where there's demand. Always look for where there's demand for something. If there's demand, then you can supply. You can be the supply.
Okay, thank you very much. Ibukum, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, Mr. Godwin, for the insight. I just have questions around this. You know, before the advent of NFTs, we used to have DeFis. And you know, DeFi, during the times of DeFi, we people usually say that there is need to create use as what you are referring to as far as NFT is concerned. If I have an image that, you know, out of insight, or I just draw something spontaneously, you know, I'm not tying it to anything. I see pictures of apes and monkeys. I don't see how that has a use case or something. I'm just trying to figure out how do we try to attach use cases to this thing. For instance, yesterday, there's this video or what they call it, sticker. Sometimes last year, then somebody uploaded it as an NFT, I think in this week, and got sold for loads of ETH yesterday, running to several millions of naira, which I read about yesterday. Now I'm beginning to wonder that, okay, an obituary, a coffin with some set of people being carried, and then somebody upload that as NFT. What is the use case around that would have made somebody? I'm just trying to, you know, understand how the use cases around these things that they are able to sell them. You know, you just made an example of somebody who uploaded something and then got arrested because they carted the money away. They didn't probably do what they expected to do. So I'm guessing that those who probably created a use case for that particular NFT, but failed to like follow on the project, and that is why they get arrested. So let's assume that I create an NFT. In the case of this obituary thing, I don't see a use case like I said, and then it is uploaded and being sold as an NFT. How do we go around that, avoid these laws? And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Hi, thank you so much, Madam Ebokun. So right now, if I'm here as a consultant, my hourly rate is $150 per hour. MumsWhoCode.
Oh, well.
I consult on some platforms. Yeah. Anyway, so if I'm sitting down here, be deceiving you. The whole NFT space is crazy right now. Like everybody's just grabbing onto what they can grab onto and do whatever they can do. Criminals, good people, goodwill, and everything. So I think I've mentioned a number of use cases. I mentioned Davido's own, that for someone like a celebrity, for instance, he can use his personality. Then I give an example of Davido. He can use his personality. He can say that if you have my NFT, if you buy my NFT, or whatever thousands of whatever ETH or whatever you bought it at, and one of the utility as a musician, as a celebrity, one of the utilities I will offer you is that if I have a show, you'll probably be in the VIP section because you bought into my project. And if maybe there's an after party for this particular show, you have entry, you'll be part of the people that will be given priority to attend that party. Or if I release an album, you can be the part of people who would have access to listen live before I launch it. So you have to create, so this is where creativity comes in. You have to know how creative, you have to get creative here. I can't sit down here and give you, I can only give you instances based on what I see and what I'm projecting. If you run a business, I don't know, maybe that's why I mentioned that you should study how loyalty cards work. When you know how loyalty cards work, you can extrapolate it to NFTs. That's the best analogy I think I can give. And that's how I see that the future use cases will be. And I told you that the community was fighting Floyd Mayweather, who is a boxer. They came, Floyd Mayweather is a boxer, then this is Ty Lopez, also a big guy, he's a marketing guru. His project didn't work out well because the community were against him. People kept posting and posting like this guy. He said you have exclusive session with him, one-on-one call. You can have breakfast with him. He's a celebrity. He sees himself as a celebrity, a marketing guru. You might have seen his content on YouTube about some books, like they'll read a book for you or something. One of his ads, like one of the use cases for his NFT will be that you can have exclusive meeting with him, one-on-one, breakfast, lunch, and all these things. When he's in town or whatever, you can book one-on-one Zoom session with him. So it's just about being creative. It's all about being creative. So like this Nigerian guy, he sold a story. So he sold the story of an elderly drama, and people were emotionally attached. I mean, in marketing, you're trying to strike people's emotion. So these are some of the things you just have to look at. It's broad, so you have to look at your niche carefully and see what you can do. Maybe you're a hair person. How can you make hair NFT? How can you combine it, human hair? I'm talking to women, so I'm trying my best. So how can you combine human hair, Brazilian hair, NFT, or maybe you can say that, okay, this NFT, if you buy this hair, you have access to the person who gave out the hair, the original owner of the original Brazilian woman in Brazil, you have access to her or something. No, so it's just about being creative. It's about being creative and know what works and what doesn't work, and building a community around it and looking for the people. They've always been collectors. People have always collected art. There's always a market for collectors. There are people who are ready to collect anything. Like me, for instance, if you bring, I'm looking for Nintendo, the Nintendo in the 90s, I'm looking for it. If I see it anywhere, any price you mention, if I have the money disposable, I'll buy it. I collect old electronic gadgets from the 90s. I collect them. I'm keeping them for the future. Maybe in the future, the value will go up, whatever. So there's always market for collectors. I've always been there. So you just have to look for what's creative way and find out what works for you and what doesn't work, and read more about the space and see what's working, what's working for them. And BC, for instance, yesterday I saw that someone has opened a restaurant from the community, and the community members came. People who had the NFT, the BC NFT, the monkey, the apes NFT. People came, a long queue went around the blocks. It's part of the community, and it's opening a restaurant. So a real life business connected to an NFT. I don't know if you give them a discount. I didn't see that happen. So you just have to find creative ways and means to sell your or market your NFT.
Okay. Thank you. Amazing responses. Do we have any other questions? So thank you very much, Africa Community Manager for Merit Circle. Thank you for this very enlightening and uplifting session. I'm very hopeful that the women here have gotten to actually do something and in the near future. So do we have any other questions before we call it a day on this meeting? Is everyone good? We are supposed to ask as many questions as we have. This is an opportunity to actually ask questions and be clear. Most sessions like this, people have to pay some sort of money to be able to access and have their questions answered. So please go ahead.
Yeah, I do a lot of sessions.
Sorry.
Masterclass.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah, please
Why
go
not?
ahead.
Obia Nojo. Why not?
All right. It's about OpenSea when it comes to NFC. I want to understand, like, if
Is it just me? I didn't get her.
Is it me or we lost her?
Yes, I think we lost her.
Oh, okay. I hope she comes back on shortly. Mm.
Okay, hello. Did you hear
Yeah.
me?
Please go ahead. We lost you for a moment.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, it's just generally, I want to understand how NFT works with OpenSea. I don't know if you can just give an insight on that.
How NFT works with OpenSea. So OpenSea is OpenSea is the largest, most popular marketplace for NFTs. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Can you see my browser? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to OpenSea. Oh no. All right. So this is OpenSea. So OpenSea is just a marketplace, a blockchain technology marketplace. So as a developer, we didn't go into the development much. You'll be building apps, decentralized apps. So OpenSea is a decentralized app, and most of the decentralized app they use crypto wallets or they run on blockchains. So for now, for example, I'm on OpenSea right now, and these are the wallets that I can use to the login APIs that I can use to log into the website. So I can use MetaMask, Coinbase wallets, and all these other ones. So your job as a developer, if you are a developer, is to how to be able to connect these wallets to the platform. That's what you're doing most often if you're a front-end person in the blockchain development space. So, all right, let me connect. Let me connect my wallets. I hope it connects. All right, so I'm in a particular project where I stake every day. So this is my account, but I have to switch to Binance Smart Chain for this particular project. So that's my account balance on my Binance Smart Chain. That's about $2, So I pay something every day to be on that project. So I'm staking every day. So now I can connect to the OpenSea. So MetaMask, I'm using MetaMask because I have MetaMask on this browser. What happens? Yeah, so it's just like you go to certain websites and they ask you if you want to connect using Facebook as a login API. So over now in Web3, you use your wallet, your crypto wallet to log in most apps. That's what we do. So, okay, let's see. I'm on MetaMask right now. All right, I hope you can see it. This is my wallet. You have access to my wallet right now. So so all the NFTs in my wallets that are hosted on OpenSea, I can see them here. So the first one you're looking at, the Eden Horde one, is my workplace NFT. So this is the price, the price right now, the best offer I'll get, it's not listed, it's just sitting down in my wallet coolly. And if I want to sell it right now, the price I will get for this is this is the best offer I'll get, whatever, based on market demand and supply. How much is 0.33 ETH right now? What is this thing? How do I move this?
I think you can open a new tab.
A new browser, all right, a new tab, okay. 0.33 something. So I mentioned that, I mentioned I was even correct, I was a bit accurate. So that's my NFT sitting down in my wallet right now, 0.3344. It is worth 1,030 USD. I'm not selling it because the utility they promised me for that NFT is that if the company makes profits in whatever we do, we're into gaming. When people play gaming, we make profits, or we do any other project, I'm entitled to receive a portion of that profit because I'm holding their NFT. So this is a use case. So those of you who want to go into it are thinking of ideas, this is a use case of it. So it's sitting down there. I'm not selling it. It's just there, and my wallet is secured. I pray no one comes to steal it because you pay me. If not, I would have just lost $1,000 like that. If someone is interested in the community, and it's limited, so a limited number will be created. So that limited number will drive scarcity, and once there's scarcity, it pushes price up. So a limited number were created. At least for now, we don't need to create more, but for now we have limited copies in the system. And this one you're looking at here, this highly Pickle plus Blue, someone gifted it to me in my gaming community as well, in the Axie Infinity community. So this is like a replication of the game character. And it's not so high, the value is 0.0. So someone gifted me this. So the person can gift you, but if I want to sell it right now, this is how much I'll make. This is the last bidding price or whatever, 0.06. So this is my wallet on OpenSea. And let me see, I have some that is favorite. All right, still that one. I have other something that is hidden. Two people also dashed me some, yeah, some more gifts. People got my work, people gift me NFTs for what I do. Instead of gifting me money, they give me NFT because they believe that in the NFT, there's value in the NFT. So these are two other gifts, but they came under the hidden tab on in my OpenSea wallet.
Exactly. That's what I needed clarification on. I was gifted an NFT, and the person was saying that it's possible it could be hidden in my wallet, so I should try checking on OpenSea, and I don't know how to go about that. Okay,
so you switch your MetaMask to the network the person sent it to you on. So I don't know what network, whether it's Ethereum or on BSC, Binance Smart Chain. So make sure that did you receive it? What wallet did you use in receiving it?
MetaMask, I used MetaMask wallet.
Okay, what network did you send it on? Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain?
I think it's Ethereum.
Okay, so I think Ethereum is a default network on Binance. But if maybe it's not on it, all you have to do is just come to the settings, settings.
Yes.
Then go to, I think networks, networks. So you see that it's there, it's a default, it's the very first one that is there. You can add your own. I added this smart chain, that's the Binance Smart Chain. You can just use the add button, go to, and you also be careful when you're adding a network to your wallet, be careful because people can put fake network there to also have access to your MetaMask. So, but I think Ethereum is the default one. So let's let it be on Ethereum. Then open your what's it called? OpenSea. Then look for the. You come to the hidden. Yeah, you come to the hidden collection, and you see it there. I don't know if that helps. You can always collect my number. You can always chat, and I can offer you more assistance. Let's not make this session too long.
All right.
I don't know if
Thank
that helps.
you.
Yeah.
Please, can you help me drop the number on the chat so I can take it from there?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
All right. Done.
Oh, okay. So, Loveline, you have a question. I think you dropped some questions in the chat box. Let me quickly read it out. Okay. Okay. Loveline asked, how much do you need to invest to buy an NFT? That's one. She also asked, if you can't design but somehow creative, how do you ensure that the person you contract to help you design your work won't steal your work?
Okay, the first one,
how much do you need to invest to buy an NFT? That's the first one.
So it goes back to the investment advice. You are investing, the first question I'll ask you now to why are you investing? Why are you investing in NFT? Do you want to flip it? Do you want to hold, you want to buy low, sell high? One reason, or two reasons, you just like the person's work. You see an artist, you just like the person's work and you want to invest in the person's work, in the person's project. So that one is you're just buying and holding and keeping for the sake of it. And the first one I said is you want to buy and flip, you want to buy low and sell high, which is you are basically trading. It's a basic trading concept. So how much are you willing to invest in it? So it's all up to you. If I bring my NFT to you right now, you've seen the price of my NFT, and I told you 0.3 ETH. Are you willing to buy my Eden Horde NFT? Do you have interest in it? My NFT comes with passive income. And since I know it's passive income, I also don't want to sell it to you. Probably in next year or maybe at the end of the year, the price will go up again, but I'm earning my passive income. And I mentioned Coinbase doing a movie. They're like, whatever comes from, even if you sell the NFT, you transfer the ownership to somebody else, the new owner will be the one receiving the passive income. They guarantee that they added it to their project roadmap or their utility for the project they're about to begin. So it's all up to you. How much are you willing to pay? It's crypto. Crypto value is very volatile. It goes up, it comes down. So it's all up to you. You have to understand. That's why I say the first thing first before you get into NFT, understand the basics of crypto. Understand crypto first before you invest, because I went to do a presentation somewhere. Someone was showing me his wallet. He was telling me that someone told me to buy and hold this coin. Why is the value of that? Why is my dollar, I think $500 that dropped to 400 and something? He was asking me why has the $500 dropped? And I started laughing. I didn't laugh, sorry, I didn't laugh. I was trying to be professional a little. I was laughing in my head because he has invested in something he doesn't even understand the basics of it. Crypto is a volatile market. People are buying and selling. The price is going up, coming down. If you're fortunate and the price goes up when you bought, you can cash out or whatever. But if it comes down and keep going down, it's all up to you. So first of all, invest in an amount you can afford to lose. Invest in what you can afford to lose. And also, what's your end goal? Are you just buying a project for fun, or you're buying it to flip it, to sell it to someone else? So I think that should help with the first question. So I saw a project recently. Someone started a project, and in the project, he hired someone on Upwork. So Upwork is an online platform where people hire people to do many things for them. So the community was angry that the guy didn't invest much time in the project, in the sense that he just went on Upwork, told someone to produce a number of pictures for him, a number of JPEGs, a number of content for him, limited content, so that he can mint that on the. And the artist later found the artist, and the artist was saying that he didn't know that the person was going to use it as an NFT, that he himself doesn't believe in NFTs, that he doesn't like the concept. As an artist, he doesn't believe in it, he doesn't like the concept. So it's all up to you to know, to find your people who you work with. So I can't really tell. So you have to find who you trust, and maybe you come to an agreement that, please, maybe you might tell the person, might not tell the person that this is what I want to do. Your part of the job is produce the NFTs for me. And once you produce it, that's it. I'll pay you for producing it. If it sells on the NFT marketplace, if it doesn't sell, that's my problem. So you have to come with an agreement. I have someone I've contracted a sculptor. He has given me the price. Initially, we were going back and forth. It was telling me that he was going to own the license of it. Then he said, nah. Then he just gave me a price that, let me pay this amount. When I pay that amount, it doesn't have any business with me anymore. That the whole work is my work now. So now I have to create a story behind that work if I want to sell it. So he has given me the price. I've not paid him yet. So we've had an agreement. So it's now left for me to pay up, and he do the sculpture for me, which I want to mint in future as an NFT. After I've told a story of it, I've done whatever story I want to tell with it. So it's all up to you. I have a young guy in Nigeria, in Lagos. It's a 3D, fantastic work. His work is so awesome. I'm amazed. Like, he came to reach out to me. I told him that you have to be the committee. It's a lot of work. I can't do that. I haven't invited him to this session. I don't know if he attended. So he's a 3D artist. He does work. He also wants to start his own NFT project. So I told him that, man, it's a lot of work. So you have to know how to build your community. If you can pay me for it, I'll charge you. But I don't think you have that capacity right now. But I'll offer you support wherever I can offer you, and help support influencers, get people to help you have reached for your project. So it's all up to you. It depends on how you want to execute. Agreements with the artists and marketing and whatnot. Yeah, all business, it's all marketing and business concept. Yeah.
Okay. I think our time is fast spent, and thank you for being so gracious Mr. Godwin France. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for supporting the MumsWhoCode community this way. Yeah, so if there are no more questions, I'd like to say we have come to the end of this session today. I hope everyone got value, and hopefully we'll have more of this in the future. So thank you all for joining us on this MumsWhoCode community webinar on women in Web3. And we hope to see more women from this meeting actually get something going on the Web3 space. So thank you for joining. Thank you, Godwin France. See you on the other side. Bye.